Hello, everybody. It's Cass, and we're back with another great episode of Cass's World. We're here. I know we're a day late with the interview, but I was sick yesterday, and Perception went to bed early, so we both agreed that we'd start fresh the next day. And now we're here. This interview is like 3 years delayed. Like, this has been meaning to happen for a long time. And I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that everyone's made it this far. Life's been crazy lately, but my favorite thing to do is come on here, talk to y'all, talk to people, and that's what we're doing. So, with that being said, Perception can come on.
How's it going?
You're finally on here. This has been very anticipating, and I've been very excited for this for a long time.
Live in the flesh.
How have you been? How is everything? Let's do a little check-in.
Life's been beautiful, man. Can't complain, getting money.
It's the best way to do it.
That's all that matters.
So, how did you get your name 516 Perception? I've always been curious of this, and I always thought the 516 was what your area code was, but I wasn't 100% sure. I can't assume, so I just want to know how you got your name.
So, the 516, it represents DXVI, which I got tatted on my fingers. It's my sister's death date. So, one of my first or second projects that really like kicked off what I have to offer with music was named after my sister Brittany, and 516 is the number that the day she passed away. And with Perception, it's just everybody has their own point of views. Everyone has their own perception on how they think. So my perception is my music, and that's how I interpret it.
Okay, that's beautiful.
May 16th.
Where are you from? I know where you're from, but I know a lot of people don't know, so.
From the small town of Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's right in the middle of Milwaukee and Chicago, so a lot of people come from Chicago. A lot of people move from Racine or Milwaukee. It's a small, dense population with not a lot going on, but we bring light to where there's dark, so that's all that matters.
I was talking about it when Mander came on, like how like significant I feel like Kenosha County Girls is, and I think that project, I
Fucking
feel
beautiful,
like
man.
it was beautiful. It's one of my favorites, but that project, I feel like if it got more traction, it'd put y'all on the map.
It'll get there. All of our music is like sleeper hits. I was there the whole time he was recording that project, man. It's like watching the progression happen in real time is it's an experience you just gotta be there for, and the music speaks for itself. That's its own genre now. Like when we make music and we really lock in on albums and whatnot, it turns into its own sound. You can't really categorize it. You just categorize it as either like that's kill genre, or that's KCG genre, or that's 516 shit. Like just speaks for itself.
Now, actually, let's really get into it because you just dropped something, and it's like been one of my favorite songs, V Bodies. It's like
Uh,
really stuck in my head. It gave me like the biggest earworm, like all your music does. And I I gotta ask, like, what is the story behind that? Because it's really catchy. The beat is hypnotic, and all in all, it's just very cultivating. And I have to like ask, like, what is the process behind that? And I really have to ask, what is the process behind making all your music? Because when we really get deep into it with like the production, the quality, the intros, the outros, it's mastered and done so beautifully. And I know because I seen you make music. I know you like you're not in a studio or anything. Like you're really doing this like on your own.
Yep. No
That's what
help.
makes it even more beautiful. Like I have to ask, not only just for V bodies, but what is like the process of making all your songs? Because I'm sure it can be different every time. But how does this go? Like let us step into your mind real quick.
Well, as a professional, we're gonna break this up into categories. So, the first thing you said was, how did V bodies come into place? Well, it's more of like a series. So I have a song called IV Bodies, which is four bodies, and that was in the Pit of Snakes era. That was like a album of just like it's more of a rough draft, but it feels finished to me. So I'm gonna give this to the world kind of like album, and it just it speaks volumes because I made it into its own like genre in a way. Like I broke off from EDM and kind of made it its own thing. And V Bodies was kind of like I wouldn't even call it like a part 2. It was more of just like breaking off of what was there before, like picking up where I left off.
Hmm.
Like that sound in specific can go into its own album or its own world. So my process to break off from what you said next, it's I would say just have fun. Like I don't really I can't pinpoint what process. It's more of I haven't been writing as of recently, so it's more of whatever hits in my mind and what else I can add to it. I add as I go. So I don't really be taking like takes. I more of just mumble out the songs until lyrics fit, and then I cut it out of the long vocal that I have, and I chop it all together and make it something. So it's I just find the cadence as I'm recording. I got that from Ye, because I hear a lot of Ye demos and a lot of Ye drafts, and that's the same shit that I be doing, and I appreciate that I could take that from Ye and make it my own shit. It's good. It's good rather than just take notes rather than take. So that's what I do, especially with Ye.
I think that is the most like I feel like that's the most realistic way of explaining your process. I think it's the most human way, the most artistic way because I feel like it's no like play by play, step by step, no like manual. No one gives you a manual in making music, you know. So I
Exactly.
think that's the most interesting way.
Because in
One
music,
of
you should
like the
just.
most interesting ways I've heard somebody explain their process.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hmm. Speaking of Pit of Snakes, my favorite song off Pit of Snakes is New Meta. I think I said that right. Just
Mm,
had to give that out there. But now let's really
hell
take
yeah.
it back. Because on your SoundCloud, your most streamed song, ranking in 30, 30, 33, 35, 335. Oh my god, I can't speak. 5.3K streams is Wreck.
Yup.
And that is also one of my favorite songs. I could really get into your whole category and like dissect what is my favorite and like what I love the most, but we'll save that for another time. But Wreck, let's get into that because it's your most streamed song, and I've seen the comments on SoundCloud and YouTube, and a lot of people really resonate with that song, and they feel like it's definitely like a pick me up song. So
Yeah.
I have to ask about that because I know it's one of your older songs too as well. How old were you when you made that song?
Well, I was 16 when I made that, and I'm glad that you said that because the story of it's kind of crazy how it came about. It was actually originally supposed to be Kill's song, and he didn't like it, and I was going to put his verse on it, but then ended up just scrapping it, and I made it the first thing I ever sang was that love don't kill, so words that you say hook, and I ran with it, and I made it all in one night, and I was not expecting it to like get the amount of love it did, especially in comments and saw the people that were listening to it. It's surreal, honestly, because it took for me. I didn't even think it was gonna take off like that. I thought it was just gonna be another song.
Definitely did numbers. It's a great song. I think it definitely showcases your um like what's the word? Not diversity.
Versatility.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Like your versatility in music, cause like it's just like every project you kind of bring out, it's always something new. People, I don't think they expect the same thing from you, which is like the coolest thing ever. So
Yeah. I try
yeah,
not to make every album or every song relate to one another, especially like newer projects don't sound like older projects. They have a lot of similarities, especially like I'll say Shun and the new album I'm working on. It's very it's like a nostalgic factor cuz I can replicate these sounds and make it something new, and it'll still give you that feeling of where you just left off listening to Shun or listening to Pit of Snakes or whatever album you were listening to or whatever single you were listening to. It carries that same weight, and my sound will always be distinguished for like, oh, that's 516. Like,
hmm. I have to ask next. Just going into your catalog, my next favorite project, Black Rag Music.
man, what a time, man.
What a great time. I remember the summer that album dropped, and I my favorite song that I still listen to faithfully and religiously to this day, it gets me hype, is Beavis and Butthead. Now personally, I don't think there's anything more beautiful than creating some of the hottest and just dopest music with your best friend.
Yeah, man,
And
that's my brother, man.
yeah, we love Mander. And Black Rag Music is just all in all, it's just fucking cool. I don't know how else to say it,
Man,
but
that
I love Black
whole
Rag Music.
project, man, like we were locked in the basement, like we were dead fucking broke. We ain't have nothing but a camera and a fucking computer and a microphone, bro. Like that gives me dopamine in itself just thinking about that project. Like it all came together in a perfect fucking circle. There's no other project like that. Like that whole project was just off of strictly emotion and strictly just dopamine. And there was so much songs made during that time, and we pinpointed the best songs. I think it was about 7 or 6. I'm unsure, but
6.
there were 6 songs on there, and we have enough material from those sessions to make Black Rag Music 2, which is gonna be going on Black Rag Music 2. I'm saying this here. Black Rag Music 2 will happen. It's just a matter of when and wait. That's it. And it's just it's a different feeling knowing like you have such a small circle and your only circle is about 2 or 3 people and there's nobody else in your ear to tell you nah, this shit ain't it, nah, y'all should do this. It's just strictly just we're doing this and this is how it's gonna sound, and it all came together so fucking beautifully. I will
So
never change that
beautifully.
era. I will never change that era.
I was so
That's
proud of y'all when y'all dropped that because I was like, yo, they're really like this is like really crazy. Like it's just like song after song, beat after beat, it all just pieces together wonderfully. And they did this together. It's not like they're like majority of niggas and someone just sends the song back and it's like, okay, thanks, I'll put it on. No, y'all were doing this together, and that's what makes it so great and so incredible.
that
I
was
still
a
stream
time,
Black Rag
man.
music, and I'm very excited to know that you're making a Black Rag music too. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a Black Rag music too. I was sure y'all were gonna make more music together, but knowing that Black Rag music too is coming out makes me very excited. It's one of my
Black
favorite
Rat
projects
Business.
as well.
Shit, Black Rat Business, man. That's his own genre of music. It's like taking what X set off on the table and just running with it. Cause you know that whole like members only shit, it never really came to fruition due to his untimely passing and whatnot. So I give a lot of credit to X. Like bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Every nigga that was in members only is they're all fucking fake, bro. The only person I can name on my finger is Ski. That's the only person that was solid throughout that whole thing. Craig Zen is cool too, and also Kill Station too. There's only like 3 main niggas, bro. You got Kid Trunks faking cancer and all that goofy shit, bro. Like, the way you represent and carry yourself, even after the person who is bringing the bread into the table, who was the fucking table, just showcases how you were acting the whole time, bro. X had nothing but leeches around him, and that's what we really took into account and avoided with black rap music and anything going forward. There's been so many instances of people just trying to smear, and it didn't fucking
Mm-hmm.
work because we
Mm-hmm.
know the most solid niggas will be the most solid niggas to back you up when your back is against the wall. And at
Mm-hmm.
this point, I don't got no fucking wall. There's no walls around me, behind me, in front of me, nothing. All I see is daylight. All I see is sunlight. All I see is the fucking... There ain't no finish line. There's no such thing as a finish line in this life. If you finished and you happy, being a male and wanting to be happy is gay. If you are living your life as a man and you want to be happy, everything sunshine and rainbows, you are a fucking faggot. Point blank period. I'm not trying to be happy. I'm trying to be stressed. I'm trying to get this, and it needs to be hard. If it's easy, I'm doing something wrong.
Hey, I guess that's only something a man can understand. No comment there. However, with the smear campaign and stuff, I wholeheartedly agree. You know I agree. Speaking of X, how do you feel about niggas like getting on the net and they're like saying, "I'ma finally admit that nigga X was corny"? How do you feel about that? I've been seeing
Bro,
that a
that's
lot.
just some people who never really thought or was there to witness his peak. And those are the same people who were, oh my god, I miss him, I miss this. Like, all that, bro, that's all filler in my head, bro. Like, that shit came and went. And it's gonna keep doing that, bro. Everybody who was saying, oh, he's corny, nigga, go back to fucking social studies, nigga. You don't know shit. You're online talking about an artist you weren't even alive to witness, bro. Go back to playing Fortnite, nigga.
I
Some
actually
kid
like
shit.
X. What class if he was XO? Was he 2017 or 2016?
Yeah, 2017.
I actually really love his cipher that they did. I think it was one of the most different and one of the most interesting, and I liked it.
Well, that's what he's
He
good
didn't
at.
rap on that whack ass beat.
That's what he's good at. Is he's good at grabbing eyes and grabbing attention and not doing what other people are expecting him to do. They expected some, hey, turn up, hey, blah 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 blah. Nah, bro, I'm trying to make y'all think, and it went even past his life, bro. He's another Ye when it comes to this shit. When
Yay.
it comes to getting motherfuckers talking, getting people, oh, why he do that? Why he do this? You can't tell me what to do. I'm the fucking greatest. I'm literally the best to ever fucking do this shit. Nobody can. You can't tell me what to say and what to think. You can't tell me how to go about my life. There's a
Speaking of
word for
yay,
that. It's called projection.
speaking of yay, I know Kanye is like your guy.
Yay.
I talked about this with Kill, and we kind of touched on it like a very real way, cause the way I see it is, whatever y'all say about Kanye, it's never gonna matter. It's just never gonna matter. Like no matter how fake outraged we get, no matter how upset we get, it's just never gonna stop.
Who the fuck is we? Shit,
Or
like
people, I
I
should say.
hear, I heard what he said, and this is my only statement. How much money are you worth? Then why are you talking to me? Why are you even commenting on me? You're all broke. I am getting money. I have factories in fucking Italy making billions of dollars. I got all of my wealth back. There's nothing you can tell me. Y'all done seen the smears. Y'all done seen how they tried to take his kids. Y'all done seen how they tried to attack him time and time again. Like, it's pointless banter. I thought we lived in America where free speech is allowed. Oh, he brings up Nazi one time and it's the end of the world, but y'all listen to motherfuckers talking about killing niggas. Crazy. The hypocrisy is insane. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, bro. That's how this world works. You can't have light without dark. And
So you
Ye
think
is the force
Elon
of
did
light.
the Nazi salute?
No, I think that was bullshit.
Hmm.
Elon Musk is one of the greatest people to ever touch
Oval Office. He already saved over $102 billion of bullshit. Transgenderism on mice? Why are we paying for that? Why are we paying for fucking transgender orchestras or transgender shows in fucking Iraq? Why are we paying for that?
I think the U.S. does a good job at fucking up the priorities we have. Because while we're paying for transgender mice, see, this is news to me. I didn't know that was happening. Our food is killing
Huh.
us.
That's why RFK is in there. I had to tell you that little piece of what we're funding. There's so much more I can go down the list, but we would be here all day. We will be here all night.
Quite literally, yes.
I think that the FDA is about to be in shambles as soon as RFK starts implementing shit. You know, fucking Steak and Shake was the first people to start switching to seed oils instead of that fucking bullshit that they've been pushing out. And RFK is the reason for that.
Well, fucking good, bro. Honestly, I'm not a snacker. I don't eat snacks. I don't eat hot chips. I don't eat much of that. When I'm hungry, I eat food. So this is not much of a thing for me. Half of the foods we eat are banned in other countries.
Half of
Don't
the
really care.
ingredients. Most of the ingredients. Like everything. You got beef tallow everything is going back to what it should be. No
Obesity
more
is the
genetic
number one
modified shit.
epidemic in America.
I wonder why. That's a whole different rabbit hole we can go down. Cause, you know, Big Pharma has its own. They have its own pool of just fuckery. A lot of people that are making these rules and regulations are damn near dying, and they do this on purpose. That whole keeping America sick is a real fucking thing. There's a reason why obesity is the biggest thing, because fucking insulin costs, fucking diabetes, all that shit, there's money in this shit. There's money in keeping people sick. You have to go to the hospital. If you don't have insurance, you're sitting in the fucking office while the doctors are out talking to people on their phones, all because they know what insurance you're about to bring them. Bro, if you have good insurance, you will get in and out of the hospital in 20 to 30 minutes, less. There's money in insurance. There's money in... If you are lining their pockets, they will get you right. If you're
Of
spending
course
that
they
bread, they
will.
will get you right. If you're on government funding, they will keep you waiting there, and you are their little fucking pig. You're their little test subject. They're gonna give you whatever the fuck to keep your ass in a fucking rut. And it's just proof of that shit.
Hey, shout out Luigi Maggiano, bro. He did justice.
I was just about to say that, but that's just the beginning.
It is. It is.
They tried. You see how they tried to smear him in the internet for a good week less, and then everything just went away once they realized the public is for him.
Oh yeah,
That
I
goes to
most
show that they don't
definitely.
have power for real.
I don't
They
know why they think in this day and age with our generation, with with how things really work and how niggas are opening their eyes, that everyone was just gonna be on bashing him. No, niggas are struggling. You think we give a fuck about a healthcare CEO? They kill people every day with
yeah
no, they literally kill people every day.
yeah every day there's shit. I would say within the past 6 months to a year, at least 500,000 people died to that shit. Died to just being fed bullshit. Man, like this shit runs deep, bro. And it ain't gonna take one CEO for shit to change, bro. Laws have to be changed. We live in a quote unquote democratic society. We are the people. It's the first in the whole Declaration of Independence. We the people. We choose what the fuck we want. And are we gonna let these people take advantage of us? Are we gonna continue to let that happen? We can't, bro.
Nope.
There are people over 300 years old still collecting Social Security money, and Elon Musk is the bad guy for a Nazi salute. What are we talking about? Oh, he's taking away SNAP benefits. He's taking away money for disability. Bro, that was never even... They never even brought that up. These motherfuckers listen to lamestream media too much and think that they got a point on their hands. You haven't even went to Doge.com. What are you talking about?
So how do you feel about the Trump coin? Trump getting into Bitcoin and kind of like getting all the Bitcoin.
I think it's opening up a new market, and it's shutting down the bank system. It's putting the banking business in shambles. You know that picture of SpongeBob where a bunch of SpongeBobs are running around in the flaming fire? That's
Yeah.
banks right now. He's giving power to independent banking. And that's a gold mine. We're going to be able to start buying shit with coins, buying shit with cryptocurrency on everything. And that is heaven on earth. I'm not going to lie. That's perfect.
I'd love to get into crypto. One of my many dreams.
It's a great thing to get into. I've been getting into it. I haven't put money into nothing yet. I know my stepdad, he's been putting a lot of money into it, and I applaud him for that because he's getting to that point where I'm a landscaper, so I'd be like outside working and shit. I can work, get paid double while he sits in the car and makes like $500 a day just on fucking crypto. That is better than working, bro. Like, why would I work if I could just put $100 into something, $50 into something, pull out for 150, 200, and just keep doing that for the day, and I made a whole paycheck. That's putting 9-to-5s out of business. That's putting these rich motherfuckers out of money. There's good rich people, and then there's bad rich people that exploit the poor and exploit the people who need resources the most. Prime example, Bill Gates. I fucking despise that man.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates is going into rural communities like Nicaragua, any places villages in Africa, and he's handing out vaccines to starving children and using them as puppets. And in return, he's giving them not shit. Not even cleaning up the water, installing water, not even giving them food, not even nothing. Not even giving them a reason to like start working and monetizing their farmland. Nothing. Just handing them off fucking diseases and getting them sick and killing them. That's evil, bro.
I thought he was dead, but maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Nah, Bill Gates is alive and fucking...
Rich.
He's hell on earth, not gonna lie. Why is it that Bill Gates owns farmland? What do you know about farms? What do you know about fucking agriculture, bro? You don't know shit. You are a tech CEO who stole Microsoft.
I'd love to know what he's doing on those farms.
He's stealing all the farmland so he can monetize off of where land should be in the hands of independent growers and independent farmers. He has them in a chokehold, bro. Even certain corporations in America, there's a place in I think Ohio or Utah, some shit, where they are dumping mad chemicals into the water, and they have these pollution plants that are spreading cancer throughout the whole community, and everybody had to leave the communities because everyone's dying of cancer, and people still have cancer to this day and are living there. All because they want to build some shit real quick. And now they're asking people for their land and shit, trying to give them money, bro. Like, trying to bribe these motherfuckers into moving out. We ain't even got the money to leave. Fuck, we want your money so you can ruin the earth some more. And those are the same people trying to talk about, oh, eco-friendly this, eco-friendly that. We should use electric cars. That shit is more harmful for the environment than gas. Nigga, Taylor Swift puts more carbon in the air on a daily basis than cars do in 10 years. Bro, she takes private jets to fly to a fucking store and go home. 10-minute flights. Same motherfucker talking about some, oh yeah, we're Democrat. We want eco-friendly bullshit. We want every car to go electric. You think them motherfuckers that drive sports cars and drive supercars and fix on cars, you think they're gonna have money in that? You are ruining the economy. That's why I'm so fucking happy Trump is in office. That shit's out the window now.
Political debates. They they go in different places.
They're
You're not
fun.
100% wrong. I'll give you your credit where it's definitely due.
They are fun. It's fun to watch people choke up and bite their own words because they get their information from fucking Yahoo News. Who the fuck reads Yahoo News? You're a faggot. Bye.
So, since we're on this topic, we really have to get into AI then. I feel like we've touched base, but AI is like one of the other things that's really killing our world. It's, first of all, let me just say this. Have I used AI? Yes, I have. Do I like AI? No, I don't. Contradicting, yes. But I think now, where I am now, I've started to realize how detrimental it is in many different ways. Number one, not only is it killing creativity, it's killing like socialization. I have a teacher at my school, and she said I had to use AI because I didn't know how to tell a girl that I wasn't gonna give her a college recommendation. And it really helped me. And that just really confuzzled me. Like, AI is just really becoming one of those prominent things that people have always claimed it would be.
Well, AI is like guns, you know. It's whatever you choose to do with it. The people don't kill people, or the guns don't kill people. The people do. So it's what you choose to use with it. In a way, that's how the world works. We're all contradictory. I use AI to answer stupid fucking questions like how long should I keep my fucking soda in the freezer for? Like just little stupid shit like that. I just don't want to like I don't have the time to go out of my way to keep checking my drink and shit. Like just little random shit like that. So it's all how you use it. I will say you're right on the terms of creativity because one example, Coca-Cola put out a advertisement and the whole advertisement was using AI. And it just it does put artists out of business and it puts artists in a tough spot. But then again, it could be a tool like what Ye's doing. I look at it like AI is a tool if you use it the right way. People hate on them for using AI vocals, whatever the case, but it's just another tool. It's like a gun. It's what you choose to use it. It can either kill something or you can stand your ground and be with it. It's however you choose to use it.
But then again, if it's a tool, then it should be a limited tool for people who know how to handle it properly. Why the fuck did I read an article about how now people in school systems and stuff are using photos of kids and reversing them into AI porn? Why are we doing that?
Well, that's just the wrong people getting a hold of it. I mean,
Exactly.
the
Which
wrong person
AI should
can
be
get a hold
limited.
of a gun and use it on people. So I don't. Yes, that is wrong, but I don't think there should be limitations on it. Of course, it's going to adapt, and AI is still a baby right now. Like we've seen the least of it. A picture of a cow in 2014 was just dots. So it's getting to a point where it's learning and it's adapting to its environment. But then again, I don't think we should restrict people on what they choose to do with it. I think we should just use the law against those people that are doing that weird shit. It's it's a double-edged sword, but if you use your sword right, it can be powerful.
It probably can be, but at
And
what
it already
expense?
is.
It's just at what expense?
At what expense is getting the wrong people out of this world, the people that shouldn't be in this society? I mean, look at Japan. Their conviction rate is 99%, 98%. And sometimes some people are innocent, but they take that sacrifice to make sure that our city is known to be clean, our country is known to be good. And the people sometimes you got to be a pawn to what's righteous. It is what it is. That's the circle of life. That's the food chain. You do something wrong, you have to be penalized for it. So I don't think it's AI's fault. I think it's the people's fault. We give each other the bad rep, and sometimes we fucking deserve it because you're dumb enough to just neglect common sense. And that's where this world is today.
So you say no limitations to AI.
No, none.
I just think of how powerful it is. It's because it is powerful. I'll give it that. It holds power. It can probably do a lot more than we think.
Well, who made AI?
That's a good question.
Who made AI? It's a simple answer.
We did.
Okay, then we can outsmart it. Boom. We can outsmart something that we created. We brought you on this earth, we could take you out. That's an expression for a reason. I don't think it's going to get to the point where we're even going to need to, I mean, obviously we can add a kill switch, like give it a power grid and shit. But then eventually, it's gonna be bigger than us. And I appreciate it from a standpoint because it is useful in its own right. It's useful. I mean, it allowed Tesla to have self-driving. It allowed Tesla to be able to move you out the way if you're gonna crash. It's writing code for people and websites. So it just ties back to what I said before. It's just the way you use it, you know? If you use it for malice, you're gonna get malice back out of it from the people. And if you use it for good, you're gonna get praise.
Interesting standpoint. I think definitely gives me a new outlook on it. I'll say that because
Good.
we can stop AI as much as we can expand it. So, with that being said, like everything is, we have the power to change everything. It's
Exactly.
just our choice to do it or not,
Exactly.
and to hold ourselves accountable, which is what we are lacking in this day and age. It's just accountability as a whole. Nobody wants to be accountable for everything, but we all want to play the blame game.
And that's the thing. That's one reason why at least the Western world is collapsing, because we have more men acting like women than women, and women are acting like men and want to act like men, and that creates a social divide in itself. We're more focused on getting women that don't look at you as a man. But then it takes you to be accountable with yourself, and you are the reason, and you are the person to look in the mirror at, to blame yourself for why you act the way you act. And you're right, there are people around here that lack accountability, and it's their own fault. Some people were raised in a single mother household, and only their mother will tell them who they can and cannot date, and these mothers have somewhat of a strong chokehold on who their son dates, which is an odd concept, and that just stems back from mad quote-unquote trauma, but in my opinion it's just lacking pattern recognition. I don't think anybody's traumatized in this world. I think you are lacking a pattern of recognition, and it's up to you to decide how you want to take things. If you want to pull the ignorant route and start blaming everybody, then that's your problem. That is a you problem. You can't blame nobody for your own faults.
Interesting perspective, interesting outlook.
Men are becoming the new bitches because they act like fucking bitches.
I hate to say I agree, but I agree.
The whole idea of that social programming is to empower women. This all started with the feminist movement. There are women to this day who are saying, can we please go back to me having to stay at home and just do laundry and clean around the house, and they don't want to work because blah 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 blase, point A and point B, and they just want that construct back, and those are the women you should be looking to further your life with. But now there's also another side of femininity that is touching masculine values, and I don't need a man, I don't need this, I don't need that. But who are you calling when you get robbed? Men. Who are you calling when your house burns down, and who's running in that house and saving you and your dog? Men. Who is doing these things that you don't want to do, yet you're saying you can do it yourself? Men. Who built everything you are standing on and everything you are using? Men. Men are powerful, and they're being weak, and they're being minimized in value in the media right now. And that's what's really destroying our culture. It is taking the whole structure of what men and females represent, and it's throwing it in the garbage. I hate that fucking baby mama word. I hate that baby daddy word.
Yeah.
Because it's not father and mother of my children. We are monetizing single households. We
Quite
are
literally.
monetizing the government in providing for your child through child support, through fucking food stamps, through all this bullshit that makes you weaker and you can't grow without two parents in the household. Why are you acting a fucking fool? Cuz you don't fucking know your father. You don't have a relationship with your father. You were never taught how to be a man. Because 9 times out of 10, your mother took your father away from you and held you up like you're a fucking toy to your father. And that father never got to meet you because their mother told you that they were a bad person. So now you hold all this resentment towards your father and they didn't even do nothing. That's the world now.
Just to backtrack on what you said, I think baby, father, mother, whatever, culture, it's a lifestyle, it's an aesthetic, it's glamorized by celebrities, influencers, average people. And it's just a broken home is the new home.
Exactly.
And for
It shouldn't be
what?
like that.
And for what?
It's not even that it's an aesthetic or a lifestyle. That's literally what life is. That's what life should be. It should be family. You should put family before anything. There are people like myself whose family members do not like them, don't want nothing to do with their parents, don't want nothing to do with the people who provided for them throughout their whole life. And it's so sad to witness. You are diminishing yourself without realizing it. It's embarrassing. You should, if you grew up in a single household, you should strive for being in a foundation you created. You should run off and create your own family. It can be with multiple women because at least they have a father who is there. Start families. Men need to become kings again. That whole monogamy shit, that shit was implemented into the Western society at, I would say, the 30s or 40s. It was known to be, now we're fucking making it illegal to cheat on your spouse. We're making it illegal to... Monogamy is not the way the world worked back then. You had multiple families and multiple family trees living on your last name. And that's what men should start going back to. You need to take pride in your last name and you need to take pride in what you provide. Pride in what you provide. And you're right. Single fatherhood or single households is glamorized in the media, and that's exactly what they want. Who runs these labels? Who runs these media outlets that prioritize bad shit? The Jews. That's what Jews are known for. They're the first people in the Talmud back in whatever the fuck. They're the first people in their Talmud, in their Bible, to push there's 8 genders. It shouldn't be like that.
I can't personally speak on something I'm not too educated about.
I understand. It's best to learn though.
Best
I
to
really
learn, of course.
look into this because so far this is a very insightful conversation, and
I
you should
agree.
prioritize knowledge because knowledge is power. The more you know, the more they're scared of you and scared of what you have to offer, and that's why they silence you. That's why they silenced DA. That's why they tried to break down X. Fuck Pitchfork, by the way. That's why they tried to sabotage Tate. They do all of this to destroy you. That's what they did to Michael Jackson because he was going to buy out Sony and fuck the industry up. Flip it on its fucking head. And that's
Speaking
the
of
goal.
Tate, where is Andrew Tate?
He's in Miami right now.
Okay.
He just did a boxing event with Aiden Ross. They did the same shit with Aiden Ross. They did the same shit with Sneeko. These people are getting banned for unmonitored chat. So it's nothing I did, it's what people said in my chat, which violates freedom of speech.
Which, by the way, if we really want to get into that, that nigga DDG was on live. Fucking having bitches play with vibrators and shit for months now, and y'all let that nigga slide. But anyways, if he
I
gets to
haven't seen
sexually,
that. I
Oh,
haven't
you
seen any of
haven't?
that.
It's really been a big. I hate DDG with a passion, by the way. His whole hypersexualized content is pissing me off, and I'm glad he finally got banned off of Twitch.
It's worse than
After.
Deshae Frost. Are you talking about Deshae Frost or DDG?
Oh, I meant Deshae Frost. That's who I
Yeah,
meant. Sorry.
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
fuck DDG too.
Deshae Frost had it coming.
He had it. I'm glad he got what he deserved. Because why are you walking up to a obviously young girl and asking her sexual comments, and then when her
Yeah,
brother
that was
comes to press you like a real nigga, you freeze up. And fuck E Kane too.
I don't know too much about what DDG has done. All I know is he's doing decent right now. I like the state of like the streaming world right now. I like Blackboy Max whatnot, like the in the booth stuff. I'm really looking forward to working with him one of these days. I know I'm going to. It's just a matter of when. But like,
Manifestation is key.
but I feel like I'm not there yet. So to comment on it would kind of be like cliche and like very pop culture-y. But all I know is like you reap what you sow. In this lifetime, you reap what you sow.
When it comes to streaming at the moment, streaming culture, YouTube culture, and the kind of it's definitely changed in the past 10 years, but
It
I
has.
mean, everyone is just kind of putting out the same content, and we're losing recipes
And I was there 10 years ago, and it has changed. It went from prioritizing games and clans and whatnot
and fun
to
stuff, fun to just degeneracy.
well, it depends on how you take degeneracy, because there are streamers that give streaming a bad rep, especially with Kick. There are a lot of people that are on that platform that give that platform a bad rep. You can't you can't marginalize and generalize one person and hyper focus that on being the specific content that's on there. That's why I mean hypocrisy is everybody is a hypocrite. Everybody enjoys one piece of quote unquote degeneracy while hating on another form of degeneracy. But it's all a choice. It's all a choice.
It's a choice. But I'm even just talking like outside of like streaming YouTube. I think my favorite, my most hated form of media right now is definitely the pranks of people walking up to people, bothering people,
It's just harassment.
pop the balloon 20 versus 1 dating content. And I'm gonna call out black people for a minute because black people YouTube is just going downhill.
Stereotypes create themselves. You
It's
can't.
hypersexualized. It is
Yep.
disgusting. It's unattractive. We gotta. I mean, if that's what y'all like, that's what y'all like. We obviously can't get everybody to clean up their acts, but oh my God, it gets to a point. It's like, I don't know what audience it's targeted to because yeah, y'all could say kids watch it, but I think grown people watch it too.
Yeah, it's not even just kids. That's a counterpart to the indoctrination. That's a counterpart into the rabbit hole. They are creating and propping up and monetizing degenerate content and people that hypersexualize women so men cannot go out there and be charismatic, be strong, and be willing to have a conversation with the woman, get to know what she likes, and now you're my woman and we're gonna have kids. It's
It's shaping incels.
yeah, it's right off the bat like, oh, you look sexy, let's fuck. And there is no movement in that. It's it's creating these stereotypes that won't die because people aren't letting them die. If you're all about oh Black Lives Matter, that was a scam, fucking scam. And if
Thank you. I've been waiting to talk about this for a minute.
yeah,
Let
of
me stop
course.
there. I think we should support victims individually, but the Black Lives Matter movement and the shit they pulled, the scams they pulled, the funding that they set up on their website that really goes to paying for Democratic white politicians.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't. And it took me a minute to realize like how like deep and sick shit that shit really is. So
And
I
then the stereotypes.
yeah.
The stereotypes, you You get mad if someone disagrees with you, and then your stereotype is to be violent. I thought you guys didn't want to be looked at as violent people. What happened? How come I say something on the internet, especially me on Snapchat? I went on a rant on Snapchat, and there was some black person that just immediately wanted to show up to my house and beat my ass because of my opinions. And that's the stereotype. You fight a stereotype with a stereotype. That's not how this world works. It's sad that it's leaning towards that way, but people instantly go into this violent, oh, I'm going to beat your ass, oh, I'm going to do this. When you were just saying, I'm not like that. Then it turns out you're like that. So you're feeding your stereotypes. You can't fight a stereotype with a stereotype. That's not how you make yourself grow as an individual. That's not how you look good. You just look like a fucking bitch. You got women fighting over one man and beefing on social media. It looks silly. You had a kid, your job is done. Now take care of your kid and stay off the internet. Why are there grown-ass women my age, having children and still beefing and talking to the fucking air on the internet? If you don't go enjoy your fucking life and shut the fuck up and get money and take care of your kid, you look like a fucking imbecile. It's embarrassing. But that's what this culture is breeding. And it's either you recognize it and change, or you let that shit eat you. And 9 times out of 10, they let that shit eat them. I'd rather go out and party and have somebody watch my kid rather than watching my kid teaching them a different language.
And I always said, there's a type of person who consumes that type of stuff and that type of media and thinks it's normal. It's always going to be the weak-minded people. Now, let me just say this. I've talked about this on my episode with Killmander, but the way we talked about it more with music. Of course, all forms of media, music, news, it's a spell in my book. However, you gotta be a type of person to not let that shit consume you. And some niggas are just so weak-minded with so little self-identity, so little self-respect that they'll take that shit in and captivate themselves in it. And then we have more of these people walking around. People who don't take the time to teach themselves things. People who don't take the time to socialize. Our biggest problem today is niggas don't know how to socialize.
Yep.
We get our socialization from a screen. Niggas don't go out and talk anymore. Niggas can barely order themselves food at a restaurant, let alone pick up a conversation with somebody. You niggas need to socialize.
Yeah. It's more of a breeding ground for a lack of communication, and I'd rather text you and then not text you because I'm too busy online. And it's I was listening to that podcast that you were talking about. There are people that make it a trend to quote unquote bed rot or rotting, and you're just weakening your immune system that way. You're weakening your state of mind. You're not getting the sun, so your nutrients is all fucked up, and you wonder why you have constant headaches. It's just it's a vicious cycle. And on top of that, you are inhaling nicotine. You're not gonna get nowhere by inhaling nicotine. Every form of smoke kills your fucking brain cells. Now, you seen that nitrous shit was a thing? Like, there are people who are actively still doing nitrous, and they get on yay ass for doing nitrous, and they haven't even seen him take nitrous at all. They haven't seen him posted up with one. They haven't seen him, none of that shit.
Are you talking about galaxy gas?
Yeah. Nitrous oxide. Galaxy gas. It's given a colorful spin to it to make people attracted to it. CIA did their fucking job with that shit. This shit isn't pushed for no reason. It's to make people fucking stupid. And it's working. It's a fucking joke. That shouldn't be a trend to not go outside and bed rot. It's embarrassing. You're ruining your legacy, and now your kids are probably going to be fucking retarded because you're full of alcohol, weed, and fucking nitrous. Nitrous? You're taking shit they put in fucking balloons, and you're getting high off of that shit? That's not a high. You're retarded. Getting no money, getting no bitches. You can't even talk to somebody in real life because you're too busy trying to heart a comment. And fuck all those fucking community notes. It's just another shit to make people like, oh, I wonder how people are gonna relate to me this day. Nobody relates to you. You are the same fucking person and have been that way for 4 years. 5 years. You're not doing any progress for yourself. You're just destroying your immune system and destroying your state of thought. And you wonder why people think you're fucking stupid. And then you get easily frustrated and easily provoked because you don't have a temper because you weren't taught to control your fucking self. It's embarrassing. This media shit is destroying people's attention spans, and that's true. There are studies on it. There are kids, especially like toddlers, like under fucking toddler, like 2 years old, and you're already on an iPad because your parent doesn't want to fucking take care of you. You just eat, scroll, and sleep. You're going to be stupid when you grow up. But that's all a part of the rabbit hole of making people stupid and not letting people think for themselves and to continue to grow businesses behind the scenes. It's destructive. There's nothing in this world other than in non-Western societies that are preaching family and preaching productivity. Sooner or later, we're not even going to have people who make houses. There's going to be a small margin of about 5 to 10% of house builders in this world. All because you'd rather choose college and you'd rather get some pointless degree that you're going to work a fucking normal job that don't even accept your degree anyways. You're a slave. You are in shackles and chains without being in the shackles and chains. You are feeding these fucking billionaires. And don't get me wrong, I like people who get some money, but there are people who get some money the wrong way and who incentivize brain rot, who incentivize no growth. And those are the people that have to be checked and regulated.
Hey, bring back term limits. Or, well, don't bring them back. They were never back. But
In
bring
the house, yeah.
I wrote an essay on this. I did beautifully on it, got a 100. Term
shit.
limits are needed. When it comes to getting into what needs to be chosen and not chosen, and rules, regulations, laws, and who's making them, I don't know about you, but I don't think a 93-year-old man is really that good at knowing what's right for over 1 billion people in this fucking
Exactly.
country.
There are people who've been in office who are in the Senate right now who haven't even showed up to their job in over 2 years. And there is tax-paying money over $700,000 just on Starbucks. And just on food. And they haven't even showed up to work. They go to work one time and they're still getting paid a full check.
And
You're
these
not doing
are, once
anything.
again, the people we leave in charge, the people that need to be in charge, the people we enforce in charge. Term limits have to be enforced. I'm sorry. I don't
It
know
has
what
to be.
what an old ass nigga is gonna do for me or teach me. Bro was alive during World War II. Times have definitely changed. I need someone 45, maybe a little older in office.
And of
Somebody.
course, I'd even go as far to 20, 22.
It's possible.
It needs to be done.
It's
And these
possible.
majority of the House have when the bill was passed into men being in women's sports and in locker rooms, majority of the House that voted no on that bill to be passed were Democrats. All of them old as fuck. It's upsetting. And term limits are a definite. And if not term limits, I think every single person in the House should just be fired automatically. They should be fired, told to fucking go find a job. You're going to get paid for the year until you find another career. You should be thrown the fuck out, and we should have a new clean slate of order and a new clean slate.
Term limits will clean up our country. They will literally clean up our country in so many ways. I've done research, and statistically, it can save us so much corruption going on.
Yep.
I know we like to shit on smaller countries for corruption in the government, but when you look at America, once again, we're just a third world country in a Gucci bag.
Yeah. The corruption at least in other countries is controlled and they have a chokehold on their people and everything runs smoothly in their eyes. But at least here there's too much there's too much disagreement and not enough agreement. I will say that. The world works over here in a very divisive way, and it's all by design. You got if one of your family members voted for Joe Biden or Kamala, whatever the fuck, they hate your guts and they don't want nothing to do with you if you went for Trump. And it's like that by design because of what they consume in the media. And what are these people that write these shits in the media? Who are they being funded by? People in the fucking office. And Jews. It's embarrassing.
I agree. In certain aspects, certain aspects.
What aspects don't you agree in?
I once again, when it comes to the whole Jew thing, I know it's like an ongoing joke to say they own like half of America, half of Hollywood, half of this, but
They
I'm
own
not.
all of it.
I don't know about that. Once again,
They
I
own
think
majority
it's just
banks.
like a joke of ongoing reparations for uh uh World War II,
No,
but
they don't need reparations. You literally own majority. You own
Basically all labels, you own basically all banks. We made a fucking agreement with you in the 1600s for you to fucking be able to come here and make money, and we have a peace treaty. We can never harm you in war. But you guys can take our citizens, fly them over to Israel, give them some citizenship in Israel so they can avoid incarceration for pedophilia. They're pieces of shit. They allow that shit to happen. Bet you didn't know that one.
hey, free Palestine.
Of course. It was their land before. It shouldn't have to be freed. There should be a negotiation with 50-50. You have one piece of land, you have another.
Mind you, they've broken their ceasefire agreement 300 times since it's happened.
Of
By the
course. They're greedy. Now they're walking up to kids and shooting their balls off with fucking rifles. And they're laughing at them. These people they look at Palestinians as fucking worms. They look at them as nothing to give a fuck about life for. They don't even look at them as human. That's why I don't give a fuck if that fucking blackball word comes into my life, because I don't give a fuck. I don't want your money. I don't want your praise. I don't need your media backing. You can smear me all you want for whatever the fuck you want. Everyone knows that you're a bullshitter. The whole world knows you're a fucking bullshitter. I don't give a fuck if you're fucking quote-unquote God's chosen people. You're not. You were kicked out of over 100 fucking countries, France twice, for spilling the blood out of babies, killing babies, and the Germans fucking hated you guys, and your books for transgenderism and gay sex, and all this bullshit that you were feeding Germany at the time. It all got thrown the fuck out. Hitler had a fucking point. Way more people died of fucking typhus than what happened in the Holocaust. And nobody talks about the Bolshevik Holocaust, which killed 10 million Christians. And 6 million people did not fucking die. It was way less than that. They did not have enough gas chambers, and it would take them over 100 years to cremate all those damn fucking bodies. We would still be cremating bodies right now. That shit was blown out of proportion. And notice how they can only give you the numbers of Jews dead. They can't give you any other numbers, and they were already caught on faking Anne Frank's fucking diary. That shit was fake. Her dad admitted it. Her dad had a fake diary, and they figured it out. I think Anne Frank was just another fucking pawn in that whole bullshit. It was just another story to exaggerate, to make the Germans and to make the Nazis seem like they were crazy. Whole time Hitler wouldn't kill a fly. You look back at pictures, the Germans loved Hitler. They loved him. He walked up to dogs, he pat the dogs. He walked up to people, children, whatever the fuck. And he was praised. He was appreciated. I wonder what's going on right now that happened back then. Transgenderism and pushing gay shit. He burned books of knowledge. No, he burned books of fucking transgenderism and gay sex. There was just a fucking video of a transgender person pulling a gun on a priest. Who's really the enemy here? Shit serious. I am on black rag business for the rest of my fucking life. Nothing is off the table when I am the table.
Some interesting takes, some interesting stuff that I didn't know. So
You can look into it. They were kicked out of plenty of countries way before they got Israel. Why were you kicked out of country? Who the fuck? What generalized people get kicked out of over 100 fucking countries? When has that happened in this state of ever? You must be doing something. But we will never know because the victors write the history. And the victors create the books. And the victors scapegoat and they try to marginalize and write the narratives. We were indoctrinated on Columbus. We were indoctrinated on the slave trade. The slave trade was just other Africans giving us Africans.
yeah.
Yeah. It was rich Africans. Bro, the word white supremacy was created by African people. Were created by blacks because they seen the planes fly. And they seen the bling. They seen what we create. And they bowed down their heads and they knew that the whites were the supreme people. They prayed to the whites. White supremacy was created by black people. And now it's a harsh word that's, oh, if you're a white supremacist, you're racist. No. They just have more fucking knowledge.
So where do you get your like sources? Like where have you learned this from and how like
all on X.
X as in like Elon's X.
Yep. Elon saved the media and saved the Western society from full collapse. So did Trump. They saved it from full collapse. He bought out the right social media at the right fucking time. Now we're not too far gone.
Do you feel like Trump has made some bias on buying X though? Like there are definitely some censorship of like freedom of speech.
No. I would say it's all about violating terms of service, and
there are a lot of people who got violated and who got taken off literally doxed people. They showed their locations. It's all bullshit. And then they're playing the victim card. You literally showed people's address and phone numbers and you got kicked off and you wonder why. Because you are inciting violence. I don't think there's no bias because I get a lot of left-leaning shit in my shit. I get a lot of Democrats complaining about a whole bunch of shit. I still see everything. It's a 50-50 site. You can look at the statistics. It's 50% Democrats, 50% Republican. It's all about what you click on, what you interact with. That's what you're going to get. So when I click on and interact some left shit, I'm going to see some left shit. And that's just how this shit works. So I wouldn't say there's a bias. I would say it's perfect where it is. Because you're allowed to use it and say what you want. But once you start inciting violence and you start doxing people, you're going to face your consequence.
So I thank Elon and I thank X for allowing people to continue to spread the word, spread the gospel on what is right and what has been wrong for a long time.
Interesting takes. This has been a eye-opener episode. I think this has been one of my most passionate interviews I've done in a minute, at least.
Of course.
One of my most I think, opinionated episodes. So, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you very much.
Of
You're
course.
going to grow, and you're going to continue to grow. And don't shy away from people you disagree with. Always continue to allow people on your platform who you could get into debates with, who you can chop it up with. You have something going here. And the more you continue this, the more you're going to get a production. You can, I would say, even branch out with like class members and keep it polished. Go to the library, allow them to have your setup there, and interview students on what you think matters in this world. You can
I'd
get that
agree
done.
with that if, like, the other half of my generation didn't have brains of rocks.
Well, that's what you can showcase, and you can make it a whole. You can make that the whole subject matter. You can showcase how closed-minded people are. You
But it
can
is
really
not even
branch
about,
off
I'm
of that
not even
idea.
meaning closed minded. I mean, like, they can't carry conversations.
Yeah,
Public
of course.
speaking conversations is so, like, the rates of that are declining so badly in my gen. Half of us can't even fucking read, let
Of
alone
course.
have intellectual debates and conversations. As much as that great idea would be, like, maybe like 30 years ago, now it's like niggas lack socialization and conversation carrying skills. It's not even,
Of course.
it's not
You could take the journalistic point of view, and you can make a journalistic analysis based on why our the people's grammar is declining, why teachers are on social media saying that their fourth graders or their eighth graders can't read on a fourth grade level. You can dive deep into those kind of categories, and you can basically show the full analysis on real-time interviews showing that people lack these skills. You can dissect mannerisms, you can dissect speech, you can dissect all of these things and create something out of that. I think a lot of people would watch that. I know I
I
would.
feel as if though too. I think it's a good mini documentary series to do
It could be.
out of all the ones I want to do personally.
It could
Um,
be. And I'm sure you have a lot of notes on what you want to do. Well, I appreciate you for having me on.
of course, you're always welcome back on. You and Amanda are always welcome back on. Crazy episode, but great episode. And y'all stay tuned for the creepypasta read. Don't know when that's
Hell yeah.
dropping, but it's coming soon. I reached out to I don't want to do this anymore to try to get like two guys, maybe. So I gotta wait back for them to hit me back. But other than that, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for streaming. Perception, thank you for coming on, conversating with me. It was a great episode.
Of
Yeah,
course. Let's keep the conversation rolling. Thanks for having me.
of course, of course.